All right, next, let's talk about the Detroit Lions. There's been a lot of hype, a lot of build up to this Lions team this offseason. I think they've gotten a lot better, both sides of the ball, through the draft, through free agency. They have really killed it this season. But I have a story today that is going to culminate all of the factors that we've seen the Lions build this offseason and show how exciting they are to everybody and maybe even the NFL themselves.
Yeah, Miles, I think Lions fans really appreciate this story. But before we get into that, obviously, a lot of Lions fans, if you're not aware, the NFL schedule for all teams, including the Detroit Lions, has been released. With that in mind, that leads us into the question that we have for you today to answer in the comment section below. Give us the one matchup that you now know of for 2023 that you're looking forward to more than any other. The one game you're really excited for the Lions to suit up and who they're going to play against. Let us know about that matchup in the comment section below. And stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a word from Neuro. They're our partner in today's video. They got a great product. It gives you a quick and easy energy boost. We love using their mints before the show. It gives us a lot of energy to get us through these podcasts. So stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about Neuro and to get your hands on our great discount code. But all right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest out of Detroit?
Yeah, Nick. So we look at this Detroit team, much upgraded, a lot of great rookies already getting into key roles and early roster predictions. You've got Branch at the safety spot, Campbell, linebacker, Laporta, the tight end, Gibbs in the running back position looks very, very promising so far. They've got great free agent signings at the cornerback position, upgraded secondary there. They look very, very good. We all know how great their offensive line is. So the hype is building. And when you build hype, you get more noticed by everybody. You get more noticed by the NFL. And when you're more noticed, people want to watch you more. And when they want to watch you more, Nick, I'm getting to the point here. You get more primetime games. And what's probably the most primetime game of them all? The first game of the season. Everyone watches the first game of the season, Nick. I can remember the most notable one was the Texans-Chiefs matchup. Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, big game. You know, it's always such an event. The very first game of the season, football is back. Everyone wants to watch it, so you got to put your stars out there. And who has been picked for the first game of the season, Nick? None other than the defending Super Bowl champion, Kansas City Chiefs, and the Detroit Lions. I'm going to get to the article, or the tweet rather, here for a second. The NFL schedule has leaked, and the defending Super Bowl champion Chiefs will open up the 2023 NFL season on Thursday night, September 7th, against the Detroit Lions. The league is buying into the Lions' hype. At Schultz Report was on this. So, Nick, I think this is really exciting if you're a Lions fan, because you've been doing really well in this rebuild of the team. Last year, you got so close to making the playoffs. Everyone sees the potential of this team. And then this year, what do? They go and reward you, in my opinion, one of the biggest primetime games of the season. Say, hey, first game of the season, put our best out there. And one of the best teams, most exciting teams, the Detroit Lions. Nick, I think this is huge news for the Lions fans, but I'm curious, what do you think about this? And do you think this is, a big meaning for the Lions?
Yeah, I think this is an absolutely massive meeting because, look, the Lions have gotten a lot of great praise this offseason, and obviously building back to how they finished last year, the 2022 campaign, and rightly so. They've done a lot of great things. Even their draft that had some criticism early on, now that we're a few weeks away, people can look at it and be like, okay, I kind of see what they're doing. They did there. That kind of makes sense. They had a really nice offseason, of course, had a great finish to the 2022 season. All kinds of momentum. They look like a potential legitimate contender. But the NFL is obviously, as everyone knows, is a bottom line business decision move. They make every decision they make about what can make them and the owners the most money physically possible. That's why you always see the Cowboys like 13 times a year on TV at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, right? They're always on TV just because they're a big market. You know, the Chiefs were always on for a long time. The Patriots were, right? All the contenders, all the big market teams are always on TV. That's what the NFL wants because they're all about money. They want to see the best matchups. They want to get the most eyeballs. And right now, the Detroit Lions are probably right up there. This to me shows as one of the up-and-coming contending teams. Because if you look at the last three opening kickoff matchups, and you brought up the one from 2020 about the Kansas City Chiefs and the Houston Texans, right? That was the Houston Texans with Deshaun Watson. Were coming off back-to-back division titles. They were considered a top contender in the AFC. That's why they got to go up against the Chiefs. In 2021, I mentioned the Dallas Cowboys. They got to play against Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Cowboys were considered, rightly so with Dak Prescott healthy, to be a top contender in the NFC. And then last year, you had the Los Angeles Rams suit up against the Buffalo Bills. Bills. Everyone knows the Buffalo Bills are perceived to be a top contender as well. The NFL would not put, in this modern age where it's all about the eyeballs, they're trying to get as much money as they can for every single big primetime matchup. They would not put up a team against the Kansas City Chiefs, the new NFL dynasty, that they didn't think could not put on a good show and compete toe-to-toe with them. In other words, a team that they did not think could contend with the Kansas City Chiefs. We've had a lot of people say the Detroit Lions, a lot of pundits say, hey, they've gotten a lot better. We had a lot of Lions fans say they got a lot better. We've had a lot of sports books say that as well. There's a lot of smart money there. But the ultimate smart money is the NFL itself. And the fact that the NFL itself wants to put the Detroit Lions up against their number one marquee franchise and number one marquee quarterback in Patrick Mahomes on the opening day of the year, to me, is the biggest sign, the biggest indicator that it is now the brand new Lions era. This is the final exclamation point in the rebuild of what everything Dan Campbell and Holmes have done over the last couple of years, and the NFL has recognized it. There's got to be an exciting time to be a Lions fan.
Yeah, Nick, one final point. You might think to yourself, okay, Lions didn't make the playoffs. Kansas City won the Super Bowl. How do these things go together? Well, you got to look at the end of last season. We talked about it, but I'm going to throw numbers at you to quantify exactly how good it was. This is the number 2 ranked offense last year versus the number 4 ranked offense. 2 very high-flying offenses from last year. Kansas City obviously had won the Super Bowl, but Detroit went 8-2 in their last 10 games. They were extremely hot on the tail end of last season, and both these teams are now betting odds favorites to win their division. So these two teams on the rise, very, very hot right now, and this is going to be a really exciting first game of the season.
All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick, and I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro gum. Neuro gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.